Chapter 1. The Trap of Modern Men. From the beginning of time, men have been hunters. We pursued food. We pursued territory. We pursued survival. That instinct is carved deep into our bone. But in the modern world, the hunt has changed. It's no longer the lion in the wild or the battlefield at dawn. Today, men chase approval. They chase validation. They chase women who do not want to be caught. You've seen it everywhere. A man pouring his time, money, and energy into someone who barely notices him. A man texting non-stop, waiting hours for a reply, then jumping the second she responds with one dry word. A man begging for her attention while she scrolls, distracted, entertained by a dozen other options. This is the modern trap, and it is destroying men. Why? Because every time you chase, you admit she is the prize, and you are not. Every time you run after her, you tell her without saying a word that she has more value than you, that she is the sun, and you are the planet orbiting around her light. But here's the hard truth. She does not respect the man who chases. She may enjoy the attention, the gifts, the constant pursuit, but deep inside, she cannot admire him, because admiration is only given to the man who holds his ground, the man who doesn't bend, the man who makes her come to him. This is why most men suffer. They've been lied to. Movies, music, and culture have programmed them to believe. If you want her, go get her. Show her. Prove yourself. But in reality, the more you prove yourself to her, the less she sees you as a man worth having. A Stoic does not chase. A Stoic builds. A Stoic masters himself first. Chapter 2. Why chasing always backfires. The more you chase, the more she runs. The harder you try, the weaker you appear. It is the paradox of pursuit. Have you ever noticed how quickly a woman loses interest once you start giving her everything she asks for? How the excitement vanishes the moment you make her your top priority? It's because desire is not built in the giving. It is built in the space. It is built in the mystery. It is built in the tension between what she wants and what she cannot have. Stoicism teaches us to master what we can control and release what we cannot. You cannot control her attraction. You cannot force her desire, but you can control your behavior. And when you stop chasing, when you pull back into your purpose, something changes. She feels the absence. She notices the silence. She wonders why the attention disappeared. But if you continue chasing, if you continue over-giving, over-texting, over-explaining, you kill the attraction at its root. You smother the fire until there is nothing left but ashes. This is why chasing always backfires. Because attraction is not logical, it is emotional. And when you behave like every other desperate man, she files you into the same category as all the rest. The category of men she uses, not the category of men she chooses. A Stoic man understands. Chasing is slavery. Detachment is power. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Control. Why do men chase? Because deep down, they are afraid of losing control. They think, if I just call her more, she won't forget me. If I buy her something, she'll appreciate me. If I keep reminding her of my love, she'll finally stay. But this is an illusion, because you never had control in the first place. Epictetus said, "Some things are within our power, others are not. Her feelings are not within your power. Her choices are not within your power. Her love is not within your power. What is in your power? Your mind, your focus, your discipline. When you chase, you surrender your power to her. You make her emotions the master of your behavior. If she ignores you, you spiral. If she texts back, you feel relief. If she withdraws, you panic. If she returns, you worship. You live like a puppet on strings. She pulls, you dance. She cuts the strings, you collapse. But the Stoic cuts the strings himself. He says, "Her actions are hers. My actions are mine. Her silence cannot break me. Her rejection cannot move me. Her games cannot define me." Control is not about holding her. Control is about holding yourself. Chapter 4. Her silence is a test. She doesn't reply. Hours go by. You check your phone again and again. Still nothing. Your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Is she talking to someone else? Is she losing interest? This silence feels like torture. But here's what you must understand. Her silence is not just silence. It is a test. Women test without knowing they are testing. They pull away to see how strong you are. They go cold to see if you will break. They disappear to see if you will chase. If you fold, if you panic, if you blow up her phone, you fail. You show her that her absence has power over you. You prove to her that she is your center, not your purpose. But when you remain calm, when you focus on your mission, when you do not chase, something shifts. She feels your strength. She senses your self-control. She wonders, why isn't he breaking? Why isn't he begging? Why isn't he chasing? And in that moment, respect is born. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free, brave enough to endure her silence without fear, brave enough to walk away rather than crawl, brave enough to let her come back on her own. Her silence is not the end. It is an opportunity for you to show strength, not weakness." Chapter 5. The Power of Absence. Absence is a weapon. Most men fear it. They think, if I don't talk to her, she'll forget me. But the truth is the opposite. What we see too often, we take for granted. What we rarely see, we crave. When you are always available, you lose value. When you are always present, you become invisible. But when you step back, when you disappear into your mission, your work, your life, you create space. And in that space, desire grows. She begins to think. She begins to wonder. She begins to imagine. Absence makes her ask, where is he? What is he doing? Who is he with? Why isn't he chasing me? That curiosity is the seed of attraction, and it cannot be planted if you are always chasing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Do not mirror her games. Do not beg for her time. Do not collapse in her silence. Instead, stand firm. Withdraw when necessary, and let your absence speak louder than your words ever could. Because a man who can walk away, a man who does not need to be seen, a man who is at peace in his own solitude, that man is unforgettable." Chapter 6. The art of detachment. Detachment is not coldness. It is not indifference. It is freedom. When you are detached, you no longer live at the mercy of her attention. You no longer rise when she approves, or collapse when she withdraws. You remain the same, steady, unshaken, immovable. A Stoic man is not without feelings. He is simply the master of them. He feels deeply, but he is not enslaved by desire. He loves with strength, not with weakness. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. It means you stop needing her to validate you. It means you can love her fully, but walk away without breaking if she no longer values you. True attraction is born in this power because women can sense the man who clings, the man who fears loss, the man who will do anything just to stay. And they can sense the man who chooses to stay, but does not need to. That is detachment, and it is the foundation of masculine strength. Chapter 7. Why women respect mystery. Men reveal too much, too soon. They pour their hearts out. They explain their every thought. They confess every feeling, and they wonder why the spark dies. But mystery is oxygen for attraction. The less she knows, the more she imagines. The more she imagines, the more invested she becomes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If she is always thinking of you, always trying to figure you out, always wondering what you feel, her mind is coloring itself with your presence. But if you reveal everything, if you give her no room to imagine, she grows bored. She feels she has already conquered you, and the game is over before it began. This is why Stoics practiced restraint, silence, holding back their emotions until the moment required. The modern man throws it all on the table instantly. But the Stoic man leaves pieces hidden. He lets his actions speak. He lets his purpose define him. And he lets her earn the privilege of knowing more. Mystery is not deception. It is discipline. Chapter 8. The discipline of self-control. Every man wants control. Few men practice it. Think of the man who can't stop texting her. The man who scrolls for hours just to check if she liked his post. The man who rearranges his life the moment she calls. That is not control. That is slavery. Contrôle ma discipline. It means not reacting to every impulse. It means letting the storm pass before you move. It means holding your ground when others fold. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." And today, most men are slaves not just to their bodies, but to their emotions. The Stoic man learns to sit with discomfort. He learns to feel the urge without obeying it. He learns to want her, but not need her. And in that control, he becomes magnetic. Because women respect the man who respects himself. They admire the man who does not collapse under desire. And they submit to the man who submits first to discipline. Self-control is the rarest currency. And in the marketplace of attraction, it is the most valuable. Chapter 9. The Frame of Masculinity. Frame is everything. Frame is the invisible structure of a man's reality. It is the unspoken rule. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is how my world works. Most men have no frame. They live inside her frame. They change their opinions to match hers. They shift their habits to please her. They abandon their goals to keep her happy. And in doing so, they destroy attraction. A woman cannot respect a man who cannot hold his own frame. She cannot admire a man who bends at every push. She cannot desire a man who is shaped by her rather than shaping himself. A Stoic man has frame. He knows his purpose. He knows his values. He knows his direction. If she fits, she stays. If she resists, he does not fold. This is masculine strength, not arrogance, not aggression, but an unshakable foundation. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That is frame, living as the standard, not chasing it. When you hold your frame, the world bends to you, and women feel the gravity of your presence. Chapter 10. Lessons from History's Stoics. The ancient Stoics were not soft philosophers in ivory towers. They were warriors, leaders, men of action. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, leading armies while writing meditations in his tent. Seneca guided emperors through chaos and exile. Epictetus was born a slave, yet became one of the greatest teachers of freedom. They lived in a world of war, betrayal, and loss, yet their philosophy made them unbreakable. Marcus Aurelius lost children, faced plagues, and fought endless wars. Yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Seneca faced exile, political plots, and eventual death by forced suicide. Yet he wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Epictetus lived in chains, beaten by his master. Yet he wrote, "No man is free until he can command himself." Their lives were proof. You cannot control what others do. You cannot control fortune, fate, or loss. But you can control your response. You can control your mind. You can control your strength. And this is the very lesson modern men must reclaim. Because if emperors and slaves alike could master themselves, then surely you can master your emotions in the face of one woman's silence. Chapter 11. The Beta Trap. There is a silent epidemic among men today. It's not poverty. It's not even weakness. It's the beta trap. The beta trap is the endless cycle of proving yourself to women who have already decided you are not the prize. It is buying gifts she doesn't value. It is sending texts she ignores. It is showing up for someone who doesn't even show up for you. The beta trap is bending yourself into a shape that pleases her. It's giving up your edge just to keep her interest. And it never works. Because once you step into that trap, she loses respect. She loses attraction. And she loses the sense that you are the mountain she cannot move. Why? Because women are not drawn to men they can control. They are drawn to men who control themselves. Every nice guy thinks he can win her with kindness, but he confuses kindness with weakness. And the moment she sees weakness, the spell is broken. The Stoic man never enters the trap. He gives value, but never overextends. He shows love, but never desperation. He gives his time, but only when it aligns with his purpose. To avoid the beta trap, you must remember, she is not your mission. Your mission is your mission. She can walk with you, but she cannot replace the road itself. Chapter 12. Masculine scarcity and value. Scarcity creates value. It is true for gold. It is true for diamonds. And it is true for men. What is abundant is ignored. What is rare is desired. If you are always available, always responding, always free, your value diminish. Not because you aren't worthy, but because you've made yourself common. Think of the Stoics. They lived by discipline. They rose early. They trained their bodies. They sharpened their minds. Their days were full of duty, purpose, and preparation. Do you think they had time to chase endlessly? Do you think Marcus Aurelius, sitting in a war tent planning battles for Rome, was refreshing his messages to see if someone texted back? Of course not. His scarcity came from purpose, and purpose is the rarest quality of all. When you are consumed with your mission, you naturally become scarce. Not because you are playing games, not because you are faking disinterest, but because your life is full, because your energy is directed toward becoming, because you are building something greater than validation. This is the scarcity women respect. The scarcity of a man too focused on his empire to waste time begging for a glance. Chapter 13. The pain of rejection as a teacher. Most men fear rejection. They avoid it at all costs. They water down their words. They hide their interest. They bend their truth, all to avoid the sting of no. But rejection is not your enemy. Rejection is your teacher. Every no reveals something about you. It exposes weakness. It sharpens awareness. It builds resilience. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body." Rejection is difficulty. It is the weight on the barbell of your masculinity. It is resistance training for the soul. When she rejects you, don't collapse. Don't curse her name. Don't retreat into bitterness. Stand firm. Thank the moment for its lesson, and grow stronger. Because rejection has another secret. It filters the unworthy. It clears your path. It shows you that not every door should open, and not every woman is for you. Rejection stings, but it also frees, and the man who learns from it becomes untouchable. Chapter 14. The balance of desire and purpose. Desire is powerful. It can fuel greatness. It can inspire art, conquest, and creation. But when unchecked, it can destroy a man. A Stoic does not kill desire. He channels it. He places it beneath purpose, never above. Most men invert this. They make women their highest pursuit. They make validation their ultimate goal. And in doing so, they lose themselves. But when purpose comes first, desire falls into place. When your mission is greater than your lust, you are unstoppable. When your path is brighter than her smile, you do not lose yourself in her eyes. Think of Epictetus, once a slave. He could have wasted his life chasing pleasure, but he chose philosophy, discipline, and mastery of self. And in doing so, he earned freedom not just from chains, but from the tyranny of impulse. The Stoic man desires, but he does not kneel before desire. He uses it as fuel. He bends it to his will. He places it in service to the mission. This is balance. This is strength. This is the path of the disciplined man. Chapter 15. The practical rules of non-chasing. Philosophy is useless without practice. So here are the rules. 1. Never text twice without a reply. If she wants you, she will answer. If she doesn't, move forward. 2. Do not rearrange your life for her. Keep your schedule. Keep your priorities. She can join the journey, but she cannot derail it. 3. Speak less than you feel. Do not overshare. Let mystery work in your favor. 4. Let her invest. Let her text first. Let her call. Let her plan. Do not carry all the weight. 5. Never beg for closure. If she pulls away, accept it with dignity. You do not need explanations to move on. 6. Prioritize your mission daily. Work, train, grow. If you build yourself, you will never have to chase. 7. Walk away when respect is gone. Love cannot exist without respect, and respect dies the moment you grovel. These rules are not games. They are boundaries. They are standards. They are shields for your mind and armor for your spirit. Follow them, and you will never chase again. Follow them, and you will stand tall while others collapse. Because in the end, it is not about winning her. It is about winning yourself. Chapter 16. What women actually want. Most men are confused. They believe women want constant attention, constant validation, endless chasing. But this is a lie. What women actually want is to feel something. They want to feel security. They want to feel mystery. They want to feel the gravity of a man who knows himself. Women do not fall for men who beg. They fall for men who lead. They fall for men who walk their path with certainty. Think about this. The man who chases sends a message, I need you to complete me. But the man who does not chase says, I am already complete. You may join me if you wish. Which man has more power? Which man inspires respect? Which man holds her imagination, even in silence? Exactly. Women want a man they cannot move, a man they cannot shake, a man who is stable as a mountain, even in the storm. Chapter 17. The test of patience. Patience is the ultimate strength, but it is the one strength most men refuse to develop. They rush. They demand. They beg for quick answers, quick responses, quick gratification, and in doing so, they reveal their weakness. A Stoic understands the power of patience. He knows that silence is an answer. He knows that waiting is a move. He knows that not every impulse deserves action. When she pulls away, most men panic. They flutter phone. They chase. They beg. But the Stoic man waits, not out of passivity, but out of principle, because he knows what is meant for him will not need to be hunted. Patience is trust in yourself. It is the calm knowing that life bends to discipline, not desperation. And when you master patience, you master timing. You never reveal too much too soon. You never collapse under silence. You hold the frame because you are the frame. Chapter 18. Building the inner fortress. Every man needs an inner fortress because the world will test you. Women will test you. Life itself will test you. If you are unprepared, you collapse. If you are weak, you beg. If you are soft, you fall apart. But the man with a fortress cannot be moved. His emotions are disciplined. His reactions are controlled. His mind is fortified by principle. This is the essence of Stoicism, to build a mind so unshakable that no insult, no rejection, no loss can destroy it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The fortress is not walls around your heart. It is walls around your mind. It is the discipline to stand calm when provoked. It is the wisdom to remain silent when others demand weakness. With an inner fortress, chasing becomes impossible, because you are no longer a beggar for attention. You are a master of your own peace." Chapter 19. The Stoic Path to Attraction. Attraction is not built through chasing. It is built through becoming. Become a discipline. Become focused. Become scarce through purpose. Become strong in body, sharp in mind, unshakable in spirit. Attraction is a byproduct of mastery. The world and women cannot help but notice a man who rises above mediocrity. Think of a fire. A true fire does not beg for attention. It burns. It radiates warmth and light, and everything around it is drawn naturally. You must become that fire, not through pretending, not through manipulation, but through the relentless pursuit of excellence. The Stoic path to attraction is simple. Control yourself. Discipline yourself. Master yourself. And in that mastery, others will follow your lead without you lifting a finger. Chapter 20. The Unshakable Man. In the end, this is the goal: to become unshakable. To become the man who cannot be moved by rejection, silence, or loss. The unshakable man does not chase, because he does not need to. He stands firm in his mission. He builds his empire brick by brick. He protects his energy. He guards his peace. And in doing so, he becomes rare. He becomes valuable. He becomes unforgettable. Women respect him. Men admire him. Life bends around him. This is the Stoic blueprint. Not weakness, not desperation, not chasing shadows, but walking with power, leading with discipline, and living with purpose. So stop chasing. Stop begging. Stop handing your power away. Become the fortress. Become the fire. Become the man who conquers himself first, and through that, conquers the world.